With the tragic situation of Carmelo Anthony and the unfortunate passing of Austin McCaff, too often you have people who use a racial situation like this, especially when the person who could possibly be blamed is black. They turn the situation into the black community needs to do better. And unfortunate tragedies like this are being used as a proxy to blame the black community and to have a conversation where all you're doing is downing the black community. We won't have that anymore.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. I hope every single last one of you guys are locked in. We have much to discuss this evening because we're have the unfortunate situation of Karmelo Anthony and Austin McCaff, and it's being taken into the black community needs to do better, and black people, we need to do better and teach our kids better, and all of it is turned into that. I appreciate everybody for being here. As you guys know, we're going to play some clips, and I had to do a lot of editing of, getting out of the curse words of these clips. So before I play any of the clips and before we really get started on the conversation, as you guys are piling in, what I need from you guys, what I would appreciate from every single last one of you all is to hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you guys are subscribed. We're going to play the copyright disclaimer so we can protect the channel. All right, here we go. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, before we get started with that, what we're going to do is I want to give a little bit of an update to the situation. So in the case of Carmelo Anthony, the arrest report has come out. All right. In the arrest report now, apparently it's a lot of witnesses, but in the arrest report, they do have a couple of the witnesses' statements, and we're going to just review what the official arrest report has stated. All right. That's what we're going to review. Okay. So here we go. Let me make this a little bit bigger, right? So this is the last page. Of course, they, give the height and weight and all of that stuff. And they give all that stuff out, but that's not what we're here for. All right, we're here for this part right here. So it says the victim. Now, this is something that we've already discussed, but this is the official police report. So I think it's important for us to go into it again. It says the victim, Austin, and the suspect. Now, a lot of people get it mixed up. Austin is the first name of the victim, of the one who was poked with the knife. Anthony is the last name of the black guy. So a lot of people are kind of getting that confused because it starts with an A. Anthony is the black guy. Austin is the first name of the white guy. All right. So the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who's Carmelo, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. And then they, of course, because a lot of this stuff is minors and they got witnesses, and because this is out in the public, they blacked out some of the names. All right. So that's why you see that there, because the police did that themselves. It says Anthony was from Central High School, and he was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside. Now, this is, of course, coming from the witness. All right. They reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, quote, "Touch me and see what happens." So this is before the touch. All right. Listen. It says, "Touch me and see what happens," after he reached into the bag. Now, they're not going to, because this is brief, they're not going to say what words were discussed to make Carmelo even feel like he would have to go and get a knife out the bag. But this is what they're saying. It says, "Touch me and see what happens." No one really thought, now this is a witness, no one really thought Anthony the black guy, had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. All right, very important. Austin proceeded to touch Anthony after the black guy said, after the black, I don't want you to get the words confused. After Carmelo, I'm just going to sub Anthony with Carmelo. After Carmelo said, touch me, see what happens. After he grabbed the thing from the bag, Austin, the white kid, touched him. And then it continues to say, and then Carmelo told Austin to punch him and see what happens a short time later. So essentially, if you're saying, touch me, see what happens, and then he touched you, and then he said, well, punch me and see what happens. This is Carmelo saying, okay, like, all right, you're going to keep pushing me. Don't keep pushing me. All right, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. So he's warning him. This is a warning to be left alone. All right, that's what this is. Continues to say, a short time later, it doesn't specify the time, a short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony. Austin, the white kid, grabbed Anthony. Now, this is according to the arrest record. All right, so well, no, he just touched them. He pushed them. He slightly shoved them. No, according to the arrest record, Austin grabbed Anthony after this. This is after the second warning for Austin to keep his hands to himself. Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what, and then that's a name, so it's blank, recalled as a black knife, and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. Blank advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another memorial track runner, blank, you know, they ain't gonna say the name, was friends with Anthony and he could identify Anthony. Blank described Anthony as a black male, skinny, with possibly a goatee, short, puffy hair, and wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with blank. It's okay, so that's what it had. And to finish it off, then they talk about how the cop, because there was multiple cops on the scene, of course. So then they talk about how, why did I do that? Then they talk about how the cop, you know, went to the other cop, and the cop kind of, you know, discussed things, you know, with the other cop and how they filed the report. All right. So this is the official arrest record. Okay. So all of that, no, he didn't say anything, or Anthony lunged at him. He was grabbed. He was grabbed so he could be removed. That's what was going on. He was. Now, I want to show you something else. Some more information about our young brother, Carmelo, has come out. I want you guys to check this out. So apparently, looking at this, Rion Carter, mother of 6, shares Instagram post in support of Karmelo Anthony, 14 at the time. All right. So this was about 6 years ago. No, this wasn't 6 years. I don't know why this was 3 years ago. My fault. Yeah. So 3 years ago, when he saved her young son from drowning. So this is a news report. This is like it was in a local paper, where at the age of 14, Karmelo Anthony, there was a situation at a pool where a little baby essentially was drowning. And Karmelo Anthony, at the age of 14, he went into the water and he pulled the baby out, saving the baby's life. All right. So as you can see, this is, you know, the baby's recovering and doing well. Now, this is them older now. You know, he's grown up, and, you know, they've both grown up and everything like that. So he's doing well. That's good. That's good for him and everything. So not only is this a young genius, essentially, this is a damn hero. This is a hero. Now, this is not something the news media is going to want to show you guys. This is not something the mainstream media is going to want to show you guys. They're showing you a picture of him with some airsoft gun to paint him out to be some type of thug. To make him be some type of thug when we know he's not. This man is an actual hero. He's at the age of 14 saving people. He's not no lifeguard or nothing like that. At the age of 14, he's out here saving people's lives. Out here saving lives. So it is, and is the situation is, of course, is unfortunate for both families. But what we're not going to do is, because one family is facing more hardship, we're not going to dismiss the hardship that the other family is facing. It's an unfortunate situation, but Anthony deserves to come home. He does, by all account. He does. Now, there was some other things that I've been seeing. Some people were talking about, there was a post that was going online, and it's photoshopped, y'all. There's a lot of Photoshop posts going online. Somebody photoshopped an image of like a rifle, and this is from Austin's Instagram page, and Austin was all like, we're gonna clear these monkeys out. Y'all, I looked it up myself personally, because after the case went, as soon as the case blew up, I looked through everybody's social media. I looked through that and I didn't see it. So then when I saw it circulating online, I was like, that's interesting, because it wasn't there when I looked. And then I did some further investigating and found out that that picture came from a whole nother man in 2020. That's fake. And we need to not be doing that. We do not need to be putting out any fake information, any misinformation. We do not need to be putting out any photoshopped information. We don't need to be trying to cut and paste. We don't need to be doing that. That is not going to help the family. That's not going to help Carmelo. As a matter of fact, that's going to make the situation a lot worse, because the facts, we just showed you what the arrest record was. We showed you what the arrest record was. We can show you his background, show you this isn't a violent thug. This isn't a bad kid. This is not even just a good kid. This is a heroic kid who has a great GPA and who had a great future. We can just stick to the facts. We can just stick to the facts. But when we do stuff and we start making stuff up, then that's going to make it seem like he was really guilty and we just got to make stuff up just to defend him. We don't have to do that, because let's be honest, he has a legal defense that defends him legally as far as the courts and all of that. But he also has a social defense. We here are his social defense. This is why he has such a large amount of money in his donation link. He has a large amount of money because we as the community, we are his social defense. So it's important for us to have integrity with this situation. All we have to do is stick to the facts of what we know. Now, there are some people who are still saying that there was some type of party like a weekend ago or whatever the case is, or at some point Carmelo's girlfriend or somebody's girlfriend got involved and they had a feud over a girlfriend or something like that. None of this stuff has been confirmed. All of this stuff from what we've seen has been denied. Now, it could be true, but we don't have any solid evidence on that. It's a lot of people coming online like, no, I knew him. They can't substantiate any of that stuff. It is problematic if we go around spreading stuff, spreading misinformation, or trying to paint a narrative, photoshopping images to paint a narrative to make somebody look worse than what they are. All we have to do is prove, which has already been done, that Austin assaulted Anthony or Carmelo. He assaulted him multiple times and he was warned not to. That's all we got to do. So I just want to put this out here that if you guys see somebody come up, because there's another thing of somebody, it's a clip that's going viral of somebody saying, I was a witness. Okay. And there's probably going to be a lot of witnesses going on social media. Here's the thing. And if you can't prove that you were on the registry to be at that track meet, and you can't actually prove you were there, if I were you all, I wouldn't even believe it. Or I would take it with a heavy grain of salt that they were there. They could have been there, but I would take it with a heavy grain of salt that people are just going on there and say, oh, I was there. It's a lot of people clout chasing, and it's a lot of people trying to push narratives that don't, and they're doing harm by pushing these false narratives. We can just stick to the witness statements. We can stick to the interviews. We can stick to the police record. That's what we know. And then we can verify their background thoroughly. This is what people do when they have integrity. That's all we need. Everything else will actually do more harm than good. So let's just keep that. I want to make that abundantly clear going forward. I also want to bring up. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, hold on. So we're going to be talking about Amru Foodie, also known as Myron Gaines. And I want to give you guys this, right? Myron knows me. He knows me. Myron does. Myron's going to probably act like he doesn't know me or whatever. He knows me. I want you guys to look at this. Where is it? Right here. This happened. Browser's lost audio. Okay, well, whatever. Just saying my computer needs space or whatever. Posted this last year. I say black people cannot be racist. Okay, people who say otherwise are either A, lying to cover for real racism, B, don't know what racism is. All right. So they got some pretty decent views or whatever the case is. And this is fact. This is 100% a fact. This is an abundant fact. We all know this. This is the truth. This is the truth. But you had Myron Gaines come under and I didn't tag Myron. This isn't a response to Myron. So Myron knows who I am because he found this and then he tagged in and he says, now this violated the X rules. He says, hold on. Okay, since I can't be racist, you're a dumb N-word, hard ER. Okay, and then he posts this meme. You zoom out, let you see it. He posts this meme. Captain N-word, ER, and everything. So this is Myron. So y'all know Myron knows exactly who I am. So this ain't, and if he says something, he gonna be all like, well, you clout chasing off. No, Myron, you know who I am. And he probably knew this was going to be addressed anyway. He probably already knew that. He knew that. He knew this was going to be addressed. But it's unfortunate he's going to take the situation, the tragic situation, as tragic as it is, he's going to take the situation with Karmelo Anthony and Austin McCaff, and he's going to turn this into blacks need to do better. Blacks need to do better. Listen to this.
Look, we got to have a tough discussion here. And that tough discussion is we got some problems in the black community. Okay? I tweeted out, we don't have a race problem in America. We have a problem race. I'm going to say that again. A lot of you FBAs are going to get mad at me for saying it. But whatever. You guys are over here in the debrief, and you guys know I'm going to call it like it is. We don't have a race problem in America. We got a problem race. Okay? And that problem race is the black community. Now, a lot of people are going to get angry at me and say, Myron, you're racist, etc. You know, your Uncle Tom or any of this.
He says, we don't have a race problem in America. We have a problem race.
This other crap. But it's true. It's true. We promote violence. We promote gang culture. We promote sorting things out through attacking each other, through shooting at each other, through, in this case, stabbing each other. Can't even have a disagreement without some type of ridiculous violence. This is an issue. This is an issue. And the thing is that, and the reason why I'm bringing this to the forefront is.
Okay. First off, let me pause this. Now, I'm not French. And I guess Myron is French, I suppose. I thought he was from the Sudan, but I guess he's French or knows French because he's saying a lot of we. And it's just, I just don't know who the we are in this. He's saying we, and I don't speak French, so he's just speaking French. So bear with me, y'all. I know a lot of people want me to translate. Why is he speaking French? Why is he doing that? I don't know why he's doing that. I don't speak French. Another thing I want to say, I don't know what the swiveling, he's like got different, I think he's being dramatic. I don't know what that is about, where he's got like different cameras. He's got like 2 different cameras on both sides, and he just kind of swivels around and makes I don't know if he think he like cooking with that. He's really not cooking with that. He's not. I want to say something. As far as the promoting violence, we promote violence. Let me get this off the screen for a second. Let me say something. The whole we promote violence, or with the gang culture, and a lot of people be bringing this stuff up. A lot of people do that. The whole, well, y'all promote the Bloods and the Crips and all of this rap music and stuff like that. There are aspects of the culture that are arguably less flatterable. Is arguably less, is less appealing. It goes into the kind of gutter side a little bit, like every other culture does. The issue is not that we have it more than anybody else. As a matter of fact, we have it much, much less. The problem, brothers and sisters, is the fact that the degenerate, is rap music, but that side gets highlighted and it gets broadcasted all over everything, and people cherry pick certain situations. Now he's talking about, we got a problem promoting gang violence, promoting this, which is why I showed you earlier before he even started talking. Carmelo is saving children. As a kid, he's in the water, he's diving in the water like he's damn Aquaman, and he's pulling babies up out the water. 6 months, I don't know the age, but he's pulling little babies out the water at the age of 14 years old. Oh, but that don't reflect on our culture whatsoever. Positive things don't reflect on our culture whatsoever. But yet, y'all want to bring up rap music. Y'all want to bring up street beef. Y'all want to bring up every little thing that makes us look bad. All of the things that we do that is good, which is way more than what we do is bad. Everything we do that is good, it just gets ignored. It's like it doesn't exist. And then when we try to bring up like Dr. King, Malcolm X, the civil rights movement, what they try to do, and this is a tactic that they try to do, so we need to know. What they try to do is they try to create some type of separation between our culture and like the civil rights movement, as if Dr. King, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, as if there's some type of severance between we've been separated between them and now. No, it's all one big culture. You got to take the bad, you got to take the good too. You got to take the good with the bad. You can't, because what they try to do is they'll be all like, oh, and we fell from this, and we used to be this, we used to be so good, we used to be this, we used to be that. No. We still are that. We still are that, and that is still our culture. You're not going to sit up there in every good aspect of our culture. You're going to try to find some way to divorce us from all of the good of our culture and then be all like, why are we so bad? I don't understand. Why do you guys listen to so much violence in your music? Another point, if we're going to go back to the culture, I was listening to an interview with our brother, Neely Fuller Jr., and he was talking about, because they talk about violence and drugs and all of that stuff in music, right? Okay. Here's the thing. Music has always, American music, there's always been that. There's always been things that are illegal in music. It's always been things that are frowned upon in music. It's always been drinking. It's always been fornication. It's always been that in music. It's always been that. I'm not even saying that that's a good or a bad thing, but that's been the case. The thing is that it's been that, but there's also been positive and uplifting imagery and music and stuff like that. What has happened nowadays is the mainstream has promoted all of the harder core type of music, the music of like drugs and gangs and stuff like that, and all of the positive and uplifting and motivating music gets snuffed out. That's the thing. If we're going to be very honest, like an independent artist who wants to rap about getting up and grinding and motivation and all of that stuff, who might not even use profanity in their music, Oh, they get snuffed out. And there's a lot of artists who do. You can go on YouTube. That's one of the big things where SoundCloud was about, is because these rappers couldn't really get their music out there to the public, because it don't matter if you make great music, you couldn't really get your music out there to the public unless one of these big record labels, UMG and them, unless they put you on their label. So that's why they had to have another platform so they can get their music and stuff out there. Now, people really don't tend to listen to SoundCloud as much as Spotify or Apple Music, but that is the truth. This is the truth. We do have people who do that. We do have people who make positive R&B and hip hop and even still jazz music and country music and all of that stuff. But you can see what type of music they really like and what type of music they really don't like out in the public. Also, another point, when we talk about music, right? Oh, y'all listen to bad music. All your music is so bad. They always get us on the music and talk about how the music promotes things that it shouldn't be promoting. Drugs, guns, killing, and all that stuff, right? Okay. Does the dominant society, this is just a question, does the dominant society not do that all of the time in their media, in their movies, in their TV shows? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because music is a form of art. Movies are a form of art. So when the dominant society makes movies about people robbing banks, which they do all the time, about assassins, they do all the time. If they make movies about the mafia and drug and all, they do all that stuff all the time. When they make TV shows about drugs and stuff like that, Breaking Bad and all of that stuff all of the time, video games, that's never promoting violence. When they make a GTA, when they make a Call of Duty, when they make it's never promoting war. When they make another war movie, it's never promoting violence. When they make a bank robbery movie, it's never promoting these things to the youth, to the children. It's not something that their culture should be ashamed of, and it's their culture should be reprimanded for and demonized for. Their entertainment, which has everything that they claim is negative about our entertainment, is something that is looked at as art that just reflects life. And these are just it's reflecting the life and the vision, the artistic vision of the directors and the actors. Okay, it's something that's given awards to. They give awards to that. All right, they give awards to the actors, to the producing team and all of that stuff, the films and the lights and all that stuff. All right, they don't give awards to the most positive movie. They never do. The most uplifting, motivational PG movie. They never do. Go look. The awards they give the movies to, they got killing in them. What? They got drugs. What? They got premarital sex and alcohol and all of this stuff that they say that we be doing. And they give them awards for that. And they be wearing fancy tuxedos and nice dresses and all of that stuff. And we're supposed to praise that as art. That is art. Okay? Now, when a rapper makes rap with the same subject material that they make movies and TV shows off of, it's something that the community has to sit down and we have to have a conversation about, and we have to discuss why we are raising our children so bad, why the fathers aren't in the house, why the mothers are strung out on drugs and they're all baby mamas, and why us as a Black community cannot hold ourselves accountable for the stuff we do. We need to be held accountable for the same things that they need to be praised for. That's what we get told. So if we're going to have the conversation about media and art not having certain materials, I'm game. But we're just going to have the conversation both ways. Because you're not going to say, oh, we shouldn't be promoting selling drugs and y'all giving awards to Breaking Bad. We shouldn't be promoting gangs and all of that stuff, and y'all got the Sons of Anarchy out there. We shouldn't be promoting robbing and all that stuff, and y'all just come out with another bank robbery movie or a bank robbery TV show, and y'all got a few of them. We ain't gonna be doing that now. No. Because if Robin is bad, then Robin is bad. If it's bad in music, it's bad in TV. If it's bad in music, it's bad in movies. All right. If gangs is bad in music, it's also bad in movies. Because we got to get it all out the way. They ain't ain't gonna be they can make money and they can promote themselves and they can get awards and they can be praised and it's great art. And then when it's come to us, it's used as a justification for our subjugation. No. So anybody who comes to you with y'all music, you can hit them with, first off, if anything, we get the subject material from y'all. Y'all was the ones who was making movies and before anybody made hip hop. Y'all been making movies about vigilantes and going out and killing people. Y'all been doing that before hip hop even existed. The KKK started the movie industry. If we can go back that far, if we really want to really go back that far and talk about the history, we can go back that far. So the entertainment, which is one of the 9 areas of activity from the original 9 areas of activity from Neely Fuller, entertainment started with them. So we ain't even gonna do that. It started with them. And now when we do it, no, we ain't gonna do that. Because what they do is they use that as a justification for our subjugation. So now if we have any rapper who raps about something that's not positive, it's Black people. Oh my God, you black people. Shame on every single last black person here. You guys are so terrible. Why are your fathers not in your life? Why are your mothers so bad, strung up on drugs? Why? I can't believe all of this degeneracy. You guys are so lazy. You guys are so pathetic. You guys are so bad. You guys are the worst of society. And this is why you're not getting anywhere. Oh, no. We're not going to do that. And then what's interesting about that, even if you want to make that argument, y'all don't even make that argument when the dominant society, when you got white folks who step into hip hop music. Okay. When white folks step into hip hop music, it's never a bad reflection on white people. They don't ever say Eminem makes white people look bad. You ain't never heard anybody say Eminem makes white people look bad. And Eminem's music is insane. Yeah, come on. We all know that. We all know it. Eminem, he got some of the craziest things out there talking about doing wild stuff to his own family members. All right. Oh, his music is wild, but ain't nobody ever said Eminem makes white people look bad. Ain't nobody ever said Miley Cyrus doing what she was doing makes white women look bad. Or I think, what's her name? Bad Bunny or something like that. So I'm like, I don't know. These ain't nobody said that, or any of the other rappers who do that. No, but no. They get to come and go, and it's not a reflection on their ethnic group. It's never a reflection on that. But hold on, let Chief Keef do something. Let Chief Keef do something. Let another rapper, let the Baby do something. And it's a reflection of, oh, why can we not talk about something positive? Do you guys only think of this stuff? Let them do something. Then it's we all bad. No. We ain't doing that. Britney Spears, all of that stuff. It's called Bad. What's her name? Bad Baby. Bad, I don't know. It don't matter. But yeah, just to go back to it. So don't let nobody play the, well, y'all the culture, because y'all not going to hold that standard to the dominant society, who needs to be held that standard to at a much, much harsher and strict degree than we do. Let's continue.
The other races are just going to mother the black community. F them, drop the N-bomb, get angry, right? I hate these guys, blah, blah. But I'm telling you guys what it is. I'm telling you guys how they feel. I'm telling you guys what they're saying behind the scenes. I'm calling it like it is. And it's really up to the black community to either change, right? Or we're going to continue to perpetuate the stereotypes, and we're going to continue to deal with said stereotypes, right? And the culture's got to change, bro. The culture has to change. We got to stop promoting Guys like Little Durk and King Von need to start promoting intellectuals and guys like going on.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. For those of you guys who don't know, Little Durk and King Von are Chicago rappers, okay? They knew each other. Good friends, like best friends, whatever. Little Durk is currently in prison, currently in jail. I'm not gonna say prison, he hasn't been convicted. And King Von is dead. Yeah, King Von is dead. King Von died in 2020. King Von died going on 5 years ago. And they still keep bringing up King Von. I don't know what their obsession is with King Von, but it's something in like this alt-right thing where they just keep bringing up, well, y'all, King Von died almost 5 years ago. And nobody looks at King Von as no role model. That's one of the things that they keep. Let me get this off screen again, because I just got to go in sometimes. I really do. Nobody looks at King Von as if King Von was a role model. We don't idolize King Von. There's some people who liked his music, who still listen to his music, but that doesn't make him no role model in the community, nor Little Durk no role model in the community, even though, you know, Little Durk has actually done some good things in the community. But this is not, they use these people who we are not like role models. These are people that we do not idolize. We are not lionizing these people, and they be all like, well, that's your role model, that's your role model. That's no. There's no statues up of King Von in Chicago. There's no murals of King Von. Nobody's telling their little kids, y'all need to be like King Von. I don't know what their obsession is with King Von, who died almost 5 years ago. And they're still like, y'all need to stop listening to King Von. Did King Von do something to you? Did he do something to you guys personally? Because it's starting to come off like a personal issue with King Von. I don't understand it, but it's starting to come off that way. All right, it really is. This also goes to show this also goes to show how they will cherry pick. It's like a straw man argument. They will pick somebody who they claim is our role model. And then they will be all like, this is your role model, and this is who you guys look up to. This is who you guys lionize. This is who you guys want to be like. For instance, George Floyd. They were all like, George Floyd's not a role model. George Floyd, he's not somebody you should look up to. He's not somebody you guys should have your kids looking up to. Yeah, okay. Nobody is lionizing. Nobody is looking up to George Floyd. They be all like, y'all made George Floyd a martyr. Y'all made George Floyd a hero. No. Nobody did that. Nobody is making George Floyd a hero. George Floyd is not a hero. The massive George Floyd uprisings was not because, oh my God, we lost a hero. That's not because of that. When George Floyd was strangled in the, most of the people who know George Floyd today now did not have any idea that George Floyd existed prior to that day. We didn't know that. And it wasn't because when we found out who George Floyd was, we was all like, oh my God, the world has lost such a great guy. We got to go out there and avenge him. He was such an honorable man in his life. That wasn't the reason either. They're making it seem like we lionize George Floyd because we want to be like George Floyd. No, it's not because we want to be like George Floyd. It's the principle of George Floyd did not deserve to be strangled in the street with his hands cuffed behind his back and officers laying on top of him as he's slowly dying out in broad daylight on camera. He did not deserve that. He don't have to be no damn saint to not deserve to go out like that. He didn't have to be a hero and some legend not to deserve that. And what happened to him showcased a reality of Black people and our relationship with the police in this country. So that was the principle of the whole George Floyd thing. It wasn't the fact that George Floyd was some type of hero that all these kids looked up to, and George Floyd is some civil rights icon and he's some activist and everybody loved George Floyd. No. It's not even the fact that everybody in his life loved George Floyd. The love of George Floyd doesn't matter. The principle of what happened to him is what matters. But these people are trying to make it seem like he's some hero. They try to cherry pick people that is a hero to nobody. He's a hero to nobody. Now, most people, anybody who has any bit of morality knows what happened was bogus and wrong, but he's not no hero. I'm to this day, I can admit it was 100% unjustified. It was 100% wrong. It was absolutely 100% wrong. It should have never happened, not one bit. He's not my hero. And I'm sure he's not your hero either. He's not a hero because he was a victim. He's a victim, and we can recognize and acknowledge the fact that he is a victim. He's not a hero, though. So they cherry pick things, or people, I'm sorry. They cherry pick people, and they be all like, well, this is your hero. This is who the black community looks up to, George Floyd and King Von and Little Durk. They'll never say the black community looks up to Dr. King. They act like Dr. King don't exist when it comes to heroes and icons and all of that stuff. They never say the black community looks up to Malcolm X. The black community looks up to the Black Panthers. The black community looks up to Dr. King. The black community looks up to Harriet Tubman. The black community looks up to Rosa Parks. They never say that. They never say nobody positive, or all of the adventures that we've had. They never say anything positive. It's always something, oh man, I wish the black community would stop looking up to King Von. I just can't believe it. They always do that. Let me get to some of the super chats before we continue. All right. Dave Young says this tether country is going through a civil war. Brother, thank you. Why? You think that Myron, whose real name is not Myron, by the way, his name is Amru Foodie, but he says it's Myron Gaines. But you think that he would have a little bit more concern? I've never heard him bring up anything going on in his homeland, but he got the most to say about what he alleges is going on over here and what we need to do and how our community is going to be perceived in reality. Why are you not talking about how your community is going to be perceived or what's going on in your community? Why you sitting up there trying to give this constructive criticism about us? I'm the only one who gonna say it. I'm the only one who gonna say it. Well, I ain't hear nobody saying what's going on in Sudan right now. And it's a lot going on. It's a lot to talk about. If you want to criticize something, I think you should start over there. Let me get to Juju. Juju says facts on point. FBA. Yeah, absolutely. Fact, yeah, absolutely. And then Dakota Jenkins says violence is not exclusive to FBAs. Facts, very true. It says they try to shame us with Chicago, but turn their horrendous crimes into TV shows like Forensic Files. True, very, very, very true. But you know what? To piggyback off of that point, follow me, y'all. How many specials and TV shows have they made about Jeffrey Dahmer? Silence for a second. How many stuff have they made about Jeffrey Dahmer? While we talking about glorifying crime, he was cannibalizing people. And they keep making specials and Netflix specials and TV shows. And how many of that have they done? Do you know most of these scary movies and stuff, these horror films that we've seen, are actually inspired? The ones that don't have like no haunted doll who turns into a giant mummy or something like that. Most of the slasher films in this country, it actually does stem from an actual real life event. The Hills Have Eyes, that's actually based off of a real event. Okay, what's the other one? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. None of this stuff is original concepts. They'll be all like, oh no, it wasn't. It might not even be based off of that, but it is inspired. Because they'll be all like, it wasn't based off of it. It is inspired. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that movie, and they made what, like 2, if not 3 of those movies, at least 2. I know they made at least 2 of those movies. That's actually inspired off of someone who's actually doing that, a family who's actually doing that. The Hills Have Eyes, that's actually inspired off of real events. Okay. And they turned it into horror films and all that stuff, and that deserves rewards. So we the last people to be talked to and checked like that. We the last people. Okay. Abdul Salam says, FBA, we have to, says, FBA, we have to do the best we can to spend dollars with these people, to not spend dollars with these people. The best we can, only necessities. That's true. All of this, doing unnecessary is, if it's not like gasoline and stuff, like super necessities that you need in the house, toilet paper maybe, and all that stuff, try to do business, try to keep your dollar in your community. I fully agree with that. Fully agree. Then we have our sister Queen Nora says, all 9 areas of people activity all starts with them. Yeah, that's true. How do we know? Because we are bragging about it. Because they were bragging about it. Neely Fuller Jr. Exactly. They were, when we say it, thank you for that. Let me talk about that. When we say it, we're only talking about what they have said. They were the ones who came up with the whole thing about proudly being called white supremacists. Abraham Lincoln and all of them talking about, we don't believe in the equality of races. They was making books about it. They was making statements. Politicians, they wasn't hiding it at all. Oh, we don't believe in equality of the races. The Dred Scott decision and all that. Oh, we don't believe in that. And a lot of that stuff still kind of goes on today. But they used to proudly say that stuff. Oh, we don't believe in that. We believe the white race is better. They used to proudly say that. They used to proudly say the white race should be controller over everything. They used to proudly brag about that stuff. And now that we saying this is what they do, and they be all like, what? That's not what? You making that up. They ain't got nothing to do with us at all. You just don't want to hold yourself accountable. They used to brag about it not long ago. And the powers have not transferred away from them. They just don't say it anymore. If I brag, for instance, if I woke up tomorrow and there's like $1 billion just in the room, just in my room, just $1 billion in cash and $100 bills, billions of dollars, and I'm sitting up there talking about, look how much money I got. I got all this money. I can do whatever I want to do. I got all this money. Okay. I can't spend it. Then the next day, I don't even say anything about it. I still have it. I still have that money. I still possess the money just because I didn't say it, because the money didn't go anywhere. Unless the money went somewhere, I would still have this money. The wealth didn't go nowhere. The power didn't go nowhere. They still have all of the control of the 9 areas of people activity. They're just hush-hush about it now. That's the only difference. Then let me get to my brother Hurricane. He says, these situations always expose everyone's colors. That's true. That's true. Because they don't miss an opportunity to take a shot at black culture or attempt to take a shot at black culture, because we're just not letting it. We're not letting it slide. But they're attempting to take a shot at black culture. But let's continue, y'all.
Right? We need to promote going to school, not being a scumbag, versus being a scumbag and scamming and not snitching or whatever. Like, we do everything backwards in the black.
You say we need to promote going to school, not being a scumbag. That's who Karmelo Anthony was. That's exactly who Carmelo Anthony was. We need to promote that. That's why we're trying to save this kid. That's why we're trying to raise money for this kid, because this is a good kid. It would be something if this was some thug who got a long rap sheet, and even though it would still be a self-defense, but it would be a different thing if this was some thug who was in and out of jail, in and out of gangs, wouldn't stop. It would be something different. But this is actually a good kid.
Community, right? We prioritize doing drugs, selling drugs, robbing each other, scamming, not snitching, not cooperating with the police, right? 12, all this dumb shit. That's what we promote. That's what we promote. So when you see a 17-year-old kid enact enormous amount of brutality in a quick amount of time, like, where does that come from? Where does that come from? Because look, let's go ahead and assume that this story is true with what the
Y'all listen to this. Listen to this crazy part.
the Twitter handle saying that the twins tried to jump him, right? Stabbing? Why do you have a knife at a track meet, dude?
He said, let's just assume that, yeah, the twins were trying to jump him. Why do you have a knife at a track meet? Let's go back to, why are they jumping him? How about that? While you was just talking about how we solve all of our problems with violence, he literally was just talking about how we solve all of our problems with violence, and then say, well, let's just assume that they were trying to jump him. But why would you stab him? Can we go back to the jumping part, the part that initiated the whole thing? And the stabbing is a response to the jumping. You're not going to get on the jumping. You're not going to get on that. He was like, oh, okay, well, let's just assume that they were trying to jump him. But why do you have a knife? Sir, why are they trying to jump somebody at a track meet? Why are two twins who are way heavier trying to jump this kid at a track meet? You're just going to skip over that. You're just going to skip over the fact that he was attacked at a track meet, but go on to the fact that he had a knife. Man.
The hell is going on? Again, we got some serious problems that we gotta deal with, man. Because I'll give it 1,000 with y'all. Bro, I don't want to live in a black neighborhood. I don't want to be in Atlanta. I don't want to be in Detroit. I don't want to be in St. Louis. I don't want to be in New York City. I don't want to go to LA. When I'm in LA, I get in and get out. I'm not trying to be around niggas, bro. And this is how everybody feels. It's not just me. I'm just saying it. But everyone feels this way. Nobody wants to be around y'all niggas, bro. Because you guys are idiots that think.
This is why it took me so long, because he cusses so much. I got to beep out all of the words and everything. And I even had to cut the thing short because he goes on a little bit longer. I had to like edit some parts out because he you know, when he gets in his moods, man.
It's okay to perpetuate violence on other people. You can't talk nothing out. Everything's got to get.
Just, okay, listen to this.
Everybody feels. It's not just me. I'm just saying it. But everyone feels this way. Nobody wants to be around y'all niggas, bro. Because you guys are idiots that think it's okay to perpetuate violence on other people. You can't talk nothing out.
You guys think it's okay to perpetuate violence on other people. You can't talk nothing out. In your words, this was his words. He said, let's assume they were being jumped. This one child was being jumped by two other kids. What is there to talk out? And let me ask you guys a question. Hypothetical question. Hypothetical. If you were being jumped by two people who are at the very least about 70 pounds heavier than you, at the very least, because some people saying they're about 220, because they're both the same size. They're both the same size relatively. Okay, maybe a couple pounds off here or there, or an inch or two a height difference, but they're both the same size. You can see several pictures of them standing side by side. They both gotta weigh about the same size. All right. He just said, oh, let's say they were trying to jump him. Why couldn't you just talk it out? You're gonna be jumped and you're gonna try to talk things out. And if you don't talk out being jumped, that makes you the bad guy. I swear to God, the standard that we have to live up to is just insane. That is an insane standard. I don't know if we can live up to the standard of a kid being jumped and him having to find a way to talk it out. Even though he wasn't in the wrong in the first place, to be jumped in the first place. He's not going to excuse or even try to talk about, well, yeah, they should. Notice, he doesn't even say they shouldn't have jumped him or attacked him. He doesn't even acknowledge that. But we need to talk it out. Okay. All right. Boy. Well, I guess, we just speak in a different language. How about that? But they got the message loud and clear. It's unfortunate that they had to learn the hard way, but the message was sent loud and clear. We just speak a different language. There was a little language barrier, but he got the message loud and clear. I'm very sure of it right now.
Got to get shot out, stabbed out, jumped out. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then when someone says the truth, like I do, what do y'all do? Oh, you Arab. You ain't even one of us. What does that even mean? What? I got to be one of you idiots to tell you that you're an idiot? I have to be an idiot to tell you you're an idiot? Is that what it is? That's the problem. You motherfucker can't take no criticism. The truth is the truth regardless of who says it. If I say we got some serious fucking problems and the black community needs to get fixed, and then you sit there and say, well, you Uncle Tom, so I'm not going to listen to what you got to say. Nigga, what? And that is why no one respects y'all. Honestly. That is why nobody respects you idiots.
Okay. Well, why do your people not get respected? Why did the Sudanese not get respected? Because I've never heard anybody talk about how much they respect the Sudanese people as a culture, as a collective. Why are y'all not respecting? Because there's a whole bunch of people who come over here into our culture, into a country we built that they didn't build, that they didn't participate with at all, and they talk about how we are not respected. Oh, why we're not respected? Okay, if that's the case, fine. Why are your people not respected? Because your people are not respected. Your people are not respected. You're not respected. And your people are not respected. So you told us why our people are not respected. So why don't you, since you're the expert in this, why don't you tell us why your people are not respected? And then actually, after you tell us why your people are not respected and why my people are not respected, let's do an apples to apples comparison and see whose people are more respected. My people or your people?
So you guys,
because he ain't gonna say nothing about his homeland. That's the crazy part.
It's like, oh, you can't comment on no problems. Can't comment on no problems. That's why nobody wants to talk to y'all niggas, bro. Because number one, they're gonna get called racist. Number two, you guys are gonna say some dumb monkey shit like that.
All right, bleep that part out.
And here's the thing. Tariq Nasheed, dumbass, or one of these other niggas are probably gonna make a video, call me oh, this nigga hates his own race or whatever. I don't, bro. Honestly, at this point, I don't give a anymore. Honestly. You racist. All right.
You know how crazy it is that he has a monkey sound effect on his keyboard? Do you know how crazy it is that he has a monkey sound effect on his keyboard? And y'all be and folks be saying that delineation is divisive? Okay.
You Kool-Aid assassins. You fried chicken connoisseurs. Whatever, man. I don't even care no more. Call me a racist. I'm telling y'all the truth. Okay? Is this all black people? Of course not. But there is a significant amount of you that are absolutely bro. Dumb as sort everything out through violence. Can't speak proper English. Don't take education seriously. Don't work
Carmelo was taking education seriously.
a job. Think criminal activity is cool. Thinking being in a gang is awesome. Listen to drill music all day. Wear your pants below your fucking waist. Incredible. You embarrass all of us. And we all have to deal with the stereotypes. So then now, when I walk into a restaurant, they're like, I don't know if I want to serve this guy. These niggas never tip. Until they hear me speak, they're like, okay. All right. I feel a bit better now. But I got to deal with that hurdle because the Aquarius before me came into the restaurant and didn't want to tip. Look.
I've been to a lot of different restaurants. I've been across, not in every state. I haven't been in every state in this country, but I've been to quite a few different restaurants. Of course, in Chicago, but I've been to different restaurants outside of Chicago, Texas, all in the South, Texas, Tennessee, Atlanta, DC, South Carolina, LA. It's Indiana. It's some few states. I've never walked into a restaurant and I've seen people be all like, "Oh, I don't want to serve this black guy. Oh, here we go. Oh my God." I've never received that. I've never received that. Now, granted, Cracker Barrel is not my choice pick of restaurants to go to get something to eat. So maybe if you go to a Cracker Barrel, they'll start looking at you like, "Oh, he doesn't belong here." But if you go anywhere probably outside of a Cracker Barrel, I don't think you as a black person, people are going to be looking at you like, "Oh my God, now I got to serve this black guy." Nobody's going to do that. All it is, you guys are making it so bad for the rest of us to live. No, we can go into a restaurant like everybody else. There's all groups of people, all races of people who don't tip. And we got to stop giving all these other groups of people so much credit about tipping. These people are cheap as hell. Do y'all know how cheap these people? Do y'all know how cheap these people are? These people are cheap. These people are cheap. A old white Karen will fight you over some coupons. She will fight you over some coupons. They be talking about some welfare. They be bringing up whole Ziploc bags of coupons. Getting stuff they don't need. That, ma'am, why do you need 50 toothbrushes? It's buy one, get one free. How? What you gonna do with them? Ma'am, they are cheap. Come on now, we ain't gonna do all that. Oh, I can't go into a restaurant because that query is before me. No. You can't go in there because they don't like Negroes. And they look at you and they see a Negro. It don't matter what Daquarius or Tyrone or Jamal. It doesn't matter what any of them did before you. They not gonna like your black ass. See what what Myron is doing now is he's trying to excuse away the racism that he feels from other groups of people as we as the community do something to make these people dislike us. So all of the racism that Myron faces, he's going to not internalize it as these people are anti-black. He's going to then justify it by saying, look how bad other black people are. And they're making it hard for me. But Myron, nobody like your ass. They probably know you. You've gone viral several times. They probably know who Myron is. If they don't want to serve Myron, it's probably some woman who doesn't want to be out like, okay, what would you like to drink? Before I ask you what you have to drink, what is your body count, ma'am? What is your body count, ma'am? Okay, and have you ever been married and are you a baby mama? It's probably that, Myron. It's probably that. You're probably so well known, the waitress don't want to serve you. When he says, excuse me, ma'am, I have a question. She probably don't want to come back because she don't want to talk about her sex life in front of you. Probably that. That's probably the reason. Myron, don't blame anybody else but yourself. Let me get to actually some of the super chats so I don't, yeah, that's Myron Gaines. That's Myron. His real name is not Myron Gaines, actually. His name is actually not Myron Gaines, but he calls himself Myron Gaines, so I guess he thinks that's a cool name. Let's get to some of the super chats. Okay. My brother Mike says, these other non-black groups defy criminals and their cultures all the damn time. Whites with mafia, true. Asians with triads, Yakuza, Latinos with cartel, and Escobar. Very true. Very, very, very true. And they got movies. They got TV shows. They got all types of media and stuff like that that glorify Escobar and El Chapo and all of this stuff. And El Pablo and all of this stuff that they do with the mafia and gangs. They make a show, The Sopranos, all of that stuff. It's cool when they do it. It's not a bad reflection on their culture. No. It's not something that they shouldn't promote in media because it would stain the culture. No, it's not something that the kids will look up to and they'll replicate those types of negative behaviors. No, it's art. Don't you understand? It's art when they do all of that stuff, even though they actually still really do that stuff to this day. It's still art when they do it. But yet a black man, if you talk about selling weed, oh man, that's why the black community is in the shape it's in. That's why you guys don't deserve reparations. That's what they'll say. Another super chat from the Negro People's Perspective. Shout out to the Negro People's Perspective. I appreciate you. And then Lock Vegas says LA is Mexican City. It really is. And he's like, when I go to LA, you pretty much dealing with Hispanics. Okay, unless you go to Crenshaw. Okay. You ain't going to Compton. But Belly says, I don't want to be around him. He's so mad. Who wants to be around this man? He's on 10 cursing out the camera, spinning around in his little chair all the time. This man he needs help. He needs to be medicated. He playing that monkey sound because that's what he hears all the time. Those are the voices in his head when he hits that button. Willie says, Myron pulled a gun out on his employees on live. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know about that. I got to look that up. I believe it. I believe it because he has gotten into fights. While he's talking about we can never talk things out, he's gotten into several fights on his podcast several times. So I definitely believe he pulled out one of them. Okay. And more than likely it was probably a female who he did it to. Okay. Belly says, hold on. I'm sure an FBA woman broke his heart. Just man, he seems so bitter. He does. Dead Blaze Johnson says, lame ass dude, desert rat. Damn. Yeah, that's what they're going to call him. And that's why they don't want to serve him. Then our mod, Nisi, says, power button. Says, oh, rainbow power button. I didn't see the rainbows. Rainbow power button, Amru Foodie. And that's how it's, I can't even remember how it was spelled. I can't remember how it's spelled. Then Rico the Great says, this tether is a non-factor and definitely not relevant. Says in the black US community. I support Carmelo. Oh, definitely, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Free Carmelo, free Melo. That's the hashtag going on. Free Melo. Shout out to Latrivia for the Cash App, Gloria for the Cash App, and then Charlotte for the Cash App. I appreciate every single last one of you all, fam. And we still got much to discuss. We still have much to discuss. And he continues.
Quisha came in complaining about the wings not being hot enough.
Now listen to this. Let me go back.
Niggas never tip. Until they hear me speak, they're like, oh, okay. All right. I feel a bit better now. But I got to deal with that hurdle because the Aquarius before me came into the restaurant and didn't want to tip. LaQuisha came in complaining about the wings not being hot enough. And if they hot enough, he heat it back up for me.
That's not a normal issue. That's abnormal. If you go to a restaurant and somebody serve you some cold food and you say, hey, my food is cold, I want warm food. This is some cold food. That's a bad complaint. So we should be served cold food because we're black. And we don't want people to have a negative feeling about us so they can serve us cold food. They can't serve nobody else cold food. But if we complain about wings that we pay for not being hot when it reaches our table, we're the bad guy?
That. And the reason why I'm so annoyed, Myron, you're racist. Myron, you're so bigoted. Nigga, I gotta deal with the consequences of these idiots. That's why. I walk into a store, niggas think I'm gonna steal. Oh,
No, they think that because they see what goes on in your homeland. That's what they think. Don't look at us, because then he gonna quote Chicago. He gonna quote some other FBA players. No, they know what goes on in your homeland, and they know how y'all get down in your homeland. Don't be looking at us, because the people like y'all think I'm gonna steal. No, because then they gonna look at Chicago. They're gonna talk about, what about Chicago? What about Detroit? What about Atlanta? No. What about Sudan? Yeah, that's why they think you gonna steal, because of Sudan and what they be going on over there, because they already know how y'all get down. That's why.
walk into a restaurant, waiters thinking, having second thoughts. Walk into a like Quickie Mart, Asian nigga starts getting nervous. It's not a
You walk into a Quickie Mart and Asians start getting nervous. What type of you Quickie? That's a weird name for like a restaurant or something. What do you mean Quickie Mart? What do you mean Quickie Mart? And Asians start getting nervous. What's that mean, Myron? You looking for guests for your show? Why are you walking into a Quickie Mart? What does that mean, Myron?
Till they hear me speak and behave and carry myself in a certain manner, like, oh, okay, no problem, okay. He good black man. But I gotta come in with a chip on my shoulder because you dumbass niggas. Get up for everybody. So yeah, I'm annoyed and I'm frustrated because I gotta deal with the consequences of this stupid. Niggas get all nervous. I'm walking down the street. They cross the street, and I'm the only one with the balls to say this. Everybody else is a bitch. Well, you know, I don't want to talk about my black sisters and black brothers. Y'all are stupid, and you up for everybody else. Tired of it, bro. Damn.
This man is literally he started on like 8 and then he's on 10 and now he's like dialing it up. Why? As he's talking, he's literally getting more mad. He didn't even break to like breathe. He's like so mad he's about to have an aneurysm. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen over his chair and had a heart attack by now. Why are you so pissed off? And he's always like this. I'm sure he takes some type of blood pressure medication or something like this, because his health must not be. It's not healthy to have this much stress. It's just not.
Damn, y'all niggas pissed me off. Let me tell y'all something, man. Goddamn. I get into Austin. I land. Right? You know what I saw? I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people. I'm like, damn. This feels good. I can relax. Because I'll tell y'all, this feels good. I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people. I'm like, damn. This feels good. I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people. I'm like, damn. This feels good.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. I'm sure he was very glad to see all those white people when he went to the airport. I'm sure he felt really good. I believe him. I believe him 100% when he says that. You see the way he took a breath when he said it. He said, damn, this feels good. Dude, you in an airport full of white people. He said, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed to see. Okay, Myron. Hey, man. Hey, we ain't going to, this ain't that type of channel. Whatever floats your boat. But I mean, you see, he was on 10 the whole time, yelling F you in words, and I'm sick of you, and y'all F it up for everybody, and I'm tired of y'all. And then the second he started talking about white people, he said, damn, this feels good. Y'all, did you hear the way he said it? Hold on. Y'all need to listen to the way he said it. Let's go back and listen to the way he said that felt good. Let's listen back. Hold on.
Right? You know what I saw? I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people.
Just notice the tone. I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people. It's almost like it just soothed his heart the second he said white people. I'm at the airport and I see nothing but white people. Like he started levitating. Now I see all these beautiful white people. Just so great. Like he just started floating all of a sudden. He was just on 10 2 seconds ago. I'm at the airport. I see nothing but glorious, beautiful white men. That's what he really wanted to say. Hold on. Hey, Myron. Hey, man. You might have to cut the cameras off. You on YouTube, not OnlyFans.
Black brothers, y'all are stupid. And you up for everybody else. Tired of it, bro. Damn. Damn, y'all niggas pissed me off. Let me tell y'all something, man. Goddamn. I get into Austin. I land. Right? You know what I saw? I'm at the airport. I see nothing but white people. I'm like, damn. This feels good.
Man, look. Just know you ain't never beaten those allegations, man. You will never beat those allegations, and I don't think he wants to be quite honest with you. I don't think he wants to. Quite honestly. Just the way he said, damn, this feels good. Dude, you okay, all right, man. Okay. He ain't never beaten those allegations. I don't care what nobody say. He can show up with his girlfriend, allegedly his beard. I don't care what nobody say. I've never heard him talk about women the way he talk about men. Damn, this feels good. Dude. Okay.
I don't gotta worry about some coming up. You know, I don't gotta worry about bro, I can relax. Cause I'll tell you how this, around the blacks, I don't relax. Heads on a swivel, looking around what's going on and shit. But I saw these white people, I was like, all right, I don't gotta worry about nothing. I could just put my headphones in, no noise cancel. I could put the noise canceling on. I could be on my phone, have it out. You know, I could put my backpack down, walk over to the bathroom and come back and not have to worry about nothing. Felt good, man.
You know where you can't do that? Do you know where you cannot do that at? You can't do it. You know where? You can't do that in Sudan. Yeah, you know that place? You might not know that place because you've been trying to distance yourself from that. You can't do that in your homeland. All of the, I get to put my backpack down and I don't have to worry about nobody stealing my backpack and I get to wear my headphones on noise canceling mode with my phone out and everything like that. You can't do that back in your homeland. Keep that in mind.
Felt good. Then I come back to in Miami, right? Get in a cab. Haitian nigga. Hey, I need to go to Brickell. Okay, I'll take you there. Right? Nigga takes me there. I'm like, all right, I'm on Apple Pay. Right? They have the little thing on the side. They have the little thing. I'm like, I'm gonna Apple Pay. Nigga pulls out his phone. Or you go down to swipe on this. It's like it's on his phone. I'm like, man, you fucking scammer ass niggas, bro. God damn. Can't even get out the goddamn taxi without niggas being niggas, bro. Holy. Nigga scammed this fucking cab company, bro. I already knew. I was like, man, this nigga, bro. I can't Apple Pay. I gotta do this shit on your dumbass phone. I gotta swipe my card on this shit. You scamming ass nigga, I should report you to your cab company.
Haitian. Dude, that's not just, see, notice when, and this is one of the reasons why delineation is so important. Let me pause this for a second. This is one of the reasons why delineation is so important, because when all of these groups come over here and they do stuff, then it becomes this whole, the black community and black culture needs, when they start participating in scams and all of that stuff, and when they start doing all that stuff, then it becomes, well, the black community needs to stop doing this, and this is why nobody wants to be around the black people, and black culture glorifies all this and that, and black people need to learn how to be better people and all that stuff. Yeah, but that's not us. That's not our culture. These are cultures that immigrate. These are people from cultures that immigrate into this country, and then they do all this stuff, and then the stain gets left over here. And then we got to clean up the stain that they've left. No, we done with that. That's why people talk about delineation now. That's why, because we done with where when it comes to all of the criminality and the negativity from these immigrants coming over here, we got to just take that. We got to take that and accept that. And it reinforces an already negative stereotype that our community has anyway. And it only harms or goes to bolster the stigma that already exists within our community anyway. And then the second somebody does something positive, it's highlighted that they're not from here. The second they do something positive, whether they graduate, start a business, whatever the case is, when they do something positive, they make sure they highlight, they underline, they specify, they put in this little box that they're not from here. Oh, they're not one of us. They're not one of us. So this is why we all like, okay, if you ain't gonna be one of us now, you ain't gonna be one of us then. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. So as far as the delineation stuff, this is why this is necessary. It ain't about, hey, this is necessary. And it's been about time we've been on this page. Because no, you can't do that. Because you're talking about something that allegedly, let's just say you telling the truth that this whole thing happened anyway, but you're talking about something allegedly a Haitian man did, and now you're trying to have this as a reflection on Black America. No.
But I was already tired and I had to do the show. I had to do the debrief. So I was like, I'm going to tell y'all niggas about this. I'm not going to snitch on this thing. I'm just going to get the out of here. So I went from Austin, Texas, white people, clean, safe airport, don't got to worry about shit. Fantastic service. I was at a steakhouse. Nigga comes up, oh yeah, what kind of steak knife would you like? I was like, give me the German one, nigga. You guys already know why. /
You got served at a steakhouse. I've been to some very nice steakhouses before. They're very polite. Whether they're, and I've been served, I've been to different restaurants. I've been to restaurants and I've had black servers. I've had white servers, Hispanic servers. That's their job. Their job. It's a part of their job to be polite to you. It is a part of their job to make you enjoy the experience. The waiters and the waitresses are a part of the experience of eating at that restaurant. So especially when you go to a very nice restaurant, they're going to be extra nice. I mean, it doesn't matter if you go to that restaurant or if you go to IHOP, they're supposed to be nice to you. They're supposed to serve you, ask you if you want refills of water or coffee or whatever the case may be. But that's their job. He's going to sit up there and act like a server at a nice steakhouse being polite to him is somehow a reflection of the politeness and generosity of the white community. It is not. It is not. Anytime you go to a restaurant, the person who is serving you is going to be polite. He's like, oh, sir, what type of knife would you like? Oh, my God, man. See, this is why I love white people. Y'all just think of everything. Y'all just make me feel so at home here. No, dude. They're going to charge you $500 for a steak, and you're going to have to pay a 10%. No, they don't like you.
In the chat. Then I come back to Miami. Not even 10 minutes. Niggas already scamming. I'm telling you, bro. We got to have a real discussion. We got to have a real discussion with the niggas, bro. I got to do some more ML. I got to get like a podium in Washington, D.C. I got to talk to everybody. I'm the only one that's going to do it. Tariq Nasheed ain't going to tell him the truth. He going to say, white supremacy. You're a criminal because of white supremacy. It was a white man that forced you to sell the drugs and the crack. Right? Dr. Umar, dumbass. I'm a Pan-African. I don't white women. That's what he going to talk about. Bro, I'm the only one that could do it.
Why don't you go save your homeland first? If you're going to save us, okay, why don't you just go save your homeland first? How about that one? How about that? Go save your homeland first, and then come back here and you can talk all you want to about what we need to be doing and how we need to be doing better and what we need to learn from and all of that stuff. Go home and save the homeland that you fled from. These tethers got a lot of nerve, man, because they coming over here talking about what we need to be doing and how they are the damn heroes of a place that they had to flee to.
I'm the only one that can do it. But goddamn, bro, like, I'm serious. We got fucking work to do, bro. This getting out of hand. And out of fucking hand, bro. I don't want to walk into a Asian mart, niggas telling me, hurry up and buy. Why? Why do I gotta hurry up and buy? I can't take my time? What? Because Laquan want to come in here and do some earlier?
No, it's because they don't like you at all because you're not one of them. They look like, ooh, a Negro. No, we don't like him. Go ask Speed. If you guys know the streamer Speed, go ask him about his experience in China. I think he went to China, Tokyo, something like that. Or they might not like you personally.
Bro, I'm just annoyed. Because I got to deal with it. They sit there and they tell me, well, Myron, you ain't black. You ain't one of us. Nigga, everyone else thinks I'm black, so I got to deal with the same. No matter what you think, Tyrone. Because everyone else thinks I'm a Tyrone, too. Like other races are like, you look like you're North African. No, nigga. No. Hurry up and buy. To you, to me, to Fresh, to Chris, to Mo, to Bills. Hurry up and buy. It's the same shit. We're all niggas to them, bro. These dumbass niggas want to sit there, well, I'm an FBA. Shut up. Shut the f*** up. Shut up.
Okay. My whole thing is, if you're having such a unpleasant experience in this country you didn't build, a country your ancestors didn't build, you can just go home. You can just go home. Clearly, you don't like what you're dealing with over here. Clearly, you don't like the fact that you go to a restaurant and they tell you got to hurry up and buy, and you go to a quickie mart and they're scared of you at the quickie mart for whatever reason, whatever that means, and whatever quickie mart. I don't go to no Asian quickie mart. I don't know what no Asian. Can somebody in chat room explain to me what an Asian quickie mart is? I know like what an Asian restaurant is. I know like with the Asian beauty supply stores and the hair salons and I don't know. I think I know. I think I've heard. I've never been to. I'm not even really sure what an Asian quickie mart is, but Myron has trouble going to the Asian quickie marts. So, I mean, you got trouble at the Asian quickie marts. You got trouble at, I guess, when you go to restaurants, nobody wants to serve you. You got all these problems. And I guess we're the cause of all of these problems. So if we're the cause of all of these problems, go. Trust me, we're gonna be fine. I promise you, we're gonna be just fine without you. If you want to be the hero that saves the culture and that saves the community from dire distraught, why don't you go home? Go home. It's crazy. These tethers, they have the audacity to come over here and lecture us. They're really lying and they're lecturing us as to what we need to be doing. And they don't even care about their homeland, honestly. None of them really do. They don't ever say anything. They don't ever speak up for their homeland. They literally act like they're not even from there. They act like they're not even from there. They don't care about none of the issues going on back in their homeland. They don't care about none of the issues. They never talk about it. They always talking about what we got going on, what they think we got going on. They never talk about what's going on back in their homeland. Never once. They never talk about that. They never talk about what they should be doing as a community to fix that problem, what their people and their homeland should be doing to fix their problem. Never. No, that's never on their mind. That's never on their mind. The only thing that they're obsessed with is what we got going on. Look, we got so much sauce. I get it. You know, I understand it. I do, you know, but damn, I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe it's just me, y'all, but it gets very exhausting living rent free in everybody's head. That just gets to me. Maybe it doesn't to everybody else, but to me, it is exhausting living rent free in everybody's head. I'm just tired of it. I just want to move out. Can somebody else move just for a little bit? Can we have a vacation? Can we just have? That's all I need. That's all I need. I get it. I get it. We got the sauce. I understand everybody want to be like us. Everybody thinking about us. I mean, I get that part. I do get it. I get it. But can we get a vacation at the very least? That's all I need. I just need a break. I really just need a break to unwind. We constantly living rent free in everybody's head. You don't get no, it's always black culture this, black culture this, black culture this, black culture this, black community this, black community this, black fathers this, black fathers this, black mothers this, black mothers this. Can we please, can y'all just let us take a break? Even if we don't have a sick day, because everybody else gets vacation days and all this stuff. Even if we don't get a full sick day, can we have a little bit longer of a break? You know how the breaks be like 30 minutes. Can we get a good 40, 45, please? Can we get a good 45 minutes of a break before we got to go back to being rent-free in y'all heads? Can we at least agree on that part? Because this is exhausting. It is. Every single situation where a black person is involved in, it becomes well, let's talk about the community now, and let's talk about the fact that I can't eat at a restaurant because Tyrone before me didn't want to leave a tip because his girlfriend said the chicken wings were cold. Why are you complaining about the cold chicken? Like, dude, and you just sitting up there jumping up and down and screaming and hooping and hollering, brother. It's raising my blood pressure to see you yell about us all the time. Can you yell about somebody else? Can you yell about somebody else? Okay, just give them a day. There's other people to yell about. Yell about them, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna take no type of criticism from this guy. Maybe it's just me. You can call me what you want to call me. You can say what you want to say, but I'll be damned if I let this dude tell me what we need to do to fix our community. He all like, it's not white supremacy. Oh yeah. So I think you believe in white supremacy. I think Myron believes in white supremacy, but I don't think he got a problem with it. You know, one of the areas of people activity in the areas of people activity is sex. If you guys didn't know that, sex is one of the 9 areas of people activity. Now look at this picture and let me ask you guys this question. Do you guys think that has any part to play in these pictures right here? That is true. That's true. I mean, come on now. I just can't. Maybe it's just me. I can't. I can't get over that. I can't. No. And you doing this, and what I don't like is that he used a very tragic situation, a real situation that is a tragedy. By all means, it's a travesty, and he's using that to attack black folk. I don't respect that. Let me get to some of the super chats real quick, because there's something else I wanted to bring up. There's something else I wanted to say. Hurricane says, whine, whine, whine. That's all he does. That's all he does. It's never any solution. He never brings a solution to the table. Not that anybody would respect it or listen to it anyway, but he never brings a solution to the table. He never does. So I think it's Saduk. Let me see. Sadaiku says, we got to stop giving these tethers our energy. They breathe us. Yeah, that's true. And they waste our time. Sudan is the violent capital. Yeah. That's why he's in America. It is. Talk about that. Talk about that. And stop using every single thing as a reflection of talking back about black people, talking about black people. And then we have another super chat from or McCoy23. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Simo27 says, send them home. It's building time in our homeland. Yeah, it is. It's building time. We want to fix the problem. Y'all got to leave. Y'all got to leave so we can fix the problem. We want to fix the problem more than y'all want us to fix the problem. Y'all just want to talk about it. We want to do it. So y'all got to go home. Then we have Tell It Like It Is. Says, Myron is working overtime to gain back favor with them folks since his channel got demonetized. Those pictures explain why he's always fighting with women on his podcast. Oh, yeah. These pictures explain perfectly why he's always fighting with women. Then a 50, I appreciate that, from YGLTB1. YGLTB1 says, it's ironic when he is discussing the violence in our community and at the same time ignoring that both Sudan and South Sudan, where he is from, are countries that are on the travel advisory from the United States Department due to extreme violence. Dude, thank you. You can, as much as they want to talk about Chicago so violent. What about Little Durk? What about King Von? What about all of the BDs and GDs and all Chicago? Chicago ain't never been on no travel advisory. Even when Chicago, and first off, violent crime in general is going down. But even when Chicago is at its peak, most violent time of the year, it's never on no damn travel advisory where the whole government is saying, hey, if y'all go there, it's on you. I'm trying to advise you not to go there because it's bad. But if y'all go there, it's on you. Don't blame us. Don't ask for us to come and help you. Don't ask for us to come and save you. They ain't never did that to Chicago. They do that to your homeland while you want to talk about something. Y'all got a whole travel advisory talking about us. Sadaiku sends another super chat saying these tethers don't have content unless it's about FBA Black America. That's very true. That's why they always talking about us. Why we always rent free in their heads. It says his entire content is hating on FBA Black American. Yeah, he is hating on us because he can't. What does he have to say? What does he have to bring to the table? Is he an expert in anything? Can he do deep dives on multiple different subjects, an array of subjects? Is he a professional when it comes to anything? Even when it comes to dating, people don't even like to listen to that stuff no more. Not from him. What is he an expert? People don't like to listen to that. So he has to be rage bait content for a bunch of white supremacist incels. That's all he can do. Hurricane says he got high blood pressure at least. He probably do. He probably got a mental disorder. Just looking at him too long give me high blood pressure because I know he's going to be screaming and hooping and hollering. Dave Young, since another one, says these tethers can keep crying. FBAs don't care. We can. He's all like, I can't go to a restaurant. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't want to serve your ass either, personally. And then Queen Nora sends another super chat saying the 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment. See, that's what we were talking about earlier when it comes to the movies and stuff. Entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, Myron and his white dude, and war. Yeah. Those are, yes, exactly. Those are 100%. And it's unfortunate that he's using this situation, this tragic situation, to sit up here and talk about the Black community as a whole. It's sad. It's sad. I'm gonna say this because we're still getting information on it, and I don't want to put out any misinformation. It's important that we have integrity. This situation is very sensitive, and it's very important as a community that we do our job in protecting this young man. His life is already changed. It's already never going to be the same. It's already been damaged to a very severe level. But it doesn't have to be over. It doesn't have to be ruined. We can save his life and still make it a decent, livable, prosperable life. It's damaged, it is, and it's going to take time to heal. Of course it is. For him and his family and the other family too. But it doesn't have to be over, and it's our responsibility to not make sure that they throw the book at him and then just let his life rot because he was defending himself from an attack. That's why let me show it real quick. I want to show you guys, this is the link to the Give, Send, Go. Let me copy that real quick. Put it in the chat room. Hold on. Oh, Hurricane already got it. Hurricane already got it in the chat room. This is the link to the Give, Send, Go. All right. And as you can tell right here, I just refreshed it. We are damn near at reached the goal pretty much, which was at 300,000. Well, now it's 350,000. And some people are like, why do they keep adding more money? Why do they keep adding more money? Why do they keep adding more money? Well, I mean, you have to understand, I don't think that this money is only for the bail. This money is also going to go for the fact that their family is facing death threats. Their family is going to need a very, very good, which is going to be very expensive lawyer. This family needs this money. And the community is backing this up because when they kill us, when they target us, they get millions of dollars in donations. So it's good to show, not just to help this young man, but also to show what we can do when we're together, when we're on code and locked in. Some people are saying, oh, he shouldn't have had a knife and he shouldn't have had a knife. Let me give you two examples, okay? Give you just two. Kyle Rittenhouse, that's one example. The weapon he used, which was a firearm, not a knife, a firearm he used was illegal. He carried it across state lines. He was underage. And he took the life of two people, shot three, took the life of two people. And an incident he provoked, because there's video of him out there provoking people and trying to start an argument. And anybody who's saying that his gun is not illegal is either A, lying, or B, ignorant. They're either A, lying, or B, ignorant. The gun is illegal. It was an illegal gun. In court, they already established that the gun was illegal. They established that in his trial, that the gun is not legal. So anybody trying to find some type of, these Google lawyers trying to find some type of loophole to make the gun illegal, in court, he had to confess that the gun wasn't legal. It's not a legal gun. They already established that in court. But he was able to take an illegal gun to a protest outside of his own state where he had no business in, provoke a situation, and then shoot two people, three people. I'm going to give you another example. Because people are like, you're not supposed to have a gun on school premises. As true as that is, y'all let Kyle Rittenhouse go. And he had an illegal firearm. Who else did you guys let go? Let me introduce you guys to this person. This person is named Bernard Goetz. Bernard Goetz is a situation. A lot of people probably don't know that much about the situation going on with Bernard Goetz because this happened all the way in the 80s. What happened with Bernard Goetz is that this is in New York, and we all know New York has super, super strict gun laws. He was allegedly robbed one day, and he came back on the subway. He was robbed on the subway. He came back with a firearm, and allegedly he was robbed, or he was fighting off an attempted robbery by 4 black teenagers. And he wound up shooting 4 black teenagers on the subway with an illegal gun because the gun was not legal. Now, thank God that all of the teenagers survived, even though one of the teenagers wound up being paralyzed and suffered brain damage from being shot. But Bernard Getz got to walk because they claimed, well, Bernard Getz was defending himself. He was defending himself against four teenagers who allegedly, and according to them, they didn't even try to rob him, but he alleged that four black teenagers were trying to rob him. And it's when you shoot one person trying to rob you, the rest are going to run away because they don't have a gun. But you shot four teenagers and he got to walk. See, let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens, y'all. This is, now we can go all the way back. They've always really done this. But the self-defense thing, it really, really started, like the trend of self-defense. It started right here, where George Zimmerman essentially hunted down Trayvon Martin, disobeying the police orders. He had a firearm on him. It's dark in the middle of the night. Trayvon Martin is walking home and he sees this strange man just in the middle of the night, doesn't know him. He's not a cop, doesn't have any reason to even be followed. And this man is following him. George Zimmerman claims that Trayvon Martin started the altercation. Clearly it was George because he was following him. And even if Trayvon threw the first blow, it was in self-defense because, hey, why is the strange man following me? Wound up pulling out a gun, even though he wasn't supposed to, provoked the incident, shot and killed a 17-year-old. Got off, called it self-defense. Called it self-defense. He even called him a slur on the phone to the police when he was calling in. Called it self-defense. So what happened after that is when he got off for the self-defense, it set a precedent towards a lot of them. Like, hey, y'all know this self-defense argument, that's an easy lick. All you got to do is all you got to do is make some argument that this is self-defense. That's all you got to do. It say that they were scary and you were scared for you can shoot, you can do whatever, self-defense. So that set in that case was so detrimental to the community because that set a whole spring. Okay. It was just a marathon of Black death under the guise of self-defense. I'm talking about self-defense from Eric Gardner. Oh, that's self-defense. Mike Brown. Oh, that's self-defense. I'm talking about self-defense. They claimed anything and everything. They were just on a killing spree claiming self-defense. Tamir Rice, that's self-defense. Tatiana Jefferson, self-defense. Breonna Taylor, self-defense. Philando Castile, self-defense. Okay. Laquan McDonald, self-defense. I'm just self-defense. Sandra Bland, they claimed that she was violent, or what they claimed she did it to herself, but she was only arrested because it was self-defense. Sonia Massey, self-defense. Jordan Neely, oh, self-defense. And we can go on and on and on about that. They went on a damn killing spree saying, oh, all we got to do is say self-defense. That's it. That's all we got to do is claim, even if they started, y'all, even if they started, all they got to do is claim self-defense. All they have to do is claim self-defense. Self-defense. Oh, they was loving it. Be all like, oh, self-defense, that's it. Oh, I saw a gun and I feared for my life. Oh, well, I got to defend myself. It's self-defense. I have a right to live. I thought it was a gun. It turned out to be his hand. Who knew? I mean, I had to do what I had to do. They got away with self-defense. And then they sat back in the corner, be all like, they just going to keep buying this self-defense thing. We just going to keep getting away with it. And the thing is that you guys have set such a precedent of self-defense that these people can go out and they can actively pursue a violent situation and still claim self-defense. you guys have set the precedent that with an illegal gun like Kyle Rittenhouse had, and like what Bayard Getz had, illegal guns, they can still claim self-defense. So what happens is that you guys abused the self-defense argument because y'all just loved it so much. Y'all were so gluttonous about it. Y'all self-defense, 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 self-defense. Just straight up just killing black people, kids, women, everything. And claiming all of that is under the guise of self-defense. So because you guys set this precedent of self-defense, now you guys overplayed that. And now we have a situation of real self-defense. And now y'all trying to roll back on the whole self-defense thing. Y'all be like, oh, no. That's not self-defense. You can't say that's self-defense. You can't say it's self-defense because he wasn't supposed to have the knife. That means it's not self-defense. If you know he's supposed to have the knife, it's not self-defense. Well, you know what the problem is with that is that Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't supposed to have a gun. Bayard Getz wasn't supposed to have a gun. Oh, no. So you can't say, oh, well, if the weapon isn't legal, it doesn't count as self-defense because America has already set several, and those are just two examples, but several precedents that the weapon not being legal does not mean that it's not self-defense now. Oh, no, we're not going to play that game. Y'all been using that self-defense argument for the longest time. Y'all been using that for the longest time. Even for children, y'all been using that argument. For children, you guys have been using that self-defense argument. Now, okay, we have a real legitimate case of self-defense. And now y'all want to talk about, oh, that's not that's an overreaction. So now y'all care about overreacting now? No. Because you guys told us that they can react however they saw fit. They can react whatever way they saw and whatever they thought was necessary to neutralize the threat. It is no overreaction if you fear for your safety and for your life. That's what they have been getting away with for almost the last 20 years. So, okay, fine. Y'all set that precedent that it's about defending yourself in self-defense. So now y'all can't roll that back now that the person who defended themselves is a black kid. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're not letting that slide. Y'all not even going to be able to play with the whole, well, that's an overreaction. Hey, no. You can't say that. Because if you want to say that's an overreaction, I can say strangling somebody to death is an overreaction, but y'all called that self-defense, didn't you? Didn't y'all call that self-defense? Y'all called that self-defense, didn't you? So no. Y'all have set the precedent that if you fear for your life, if you're in danger, that if you just got to do what you got to do, and it's legitimate self-defense, and you should be praised as a hero for it. That's what you guys told us. That's what you guys have done. Y'all did that. Okay. This is what you all have done. Y'all set that precedent. Y'all let it be known. Y'all have been on the damn spree of eliminating black people, just this genocide of black people that you guys have been able to do under the guise of self-defense. So you guys have been skating and y'all been parading and talking about self-defense. Y'all been champion for self-defense for so long. Okay, bam, now a case of self-defense. No, don't roll back self-defense now like, well, no, he could have just talked it out. He could have tried to run away. He could have tried. No. Because y'all didn't tell George Zimmerman he could have tried to run away. Y'all didn't tell Daniel Penny he needed to run away. Y'all didn't tell none of them they needed to run away. Nope, we ain't gonna do that. No, y'all didn't tell none of them they needed to run away. Y'all not gonna come back and circle back and talk about the standards need to change for us. We need to run away. We need to de-escalate the situation. Okay, y'all can't do that. You can't. Y'all messed up yourself. Okay, you overplayed your card. You messed yourself up. Y'all can't talk about, well, the knife shouldn't have been there. The knife shouldn't have been there. So what? It's still self-defense. The gun shouldn't have been in Rittenhouse's hands according to the law, but he still had it and he still got away. The gun shouldn't have been in Bayard Getz's hands, but he still had it and he still got it. That don't change it to be self-defense. Y'all already let that be known on multiple occasions that self-defense is still self-defense. And they had guns. They had guns. Oh, no. Since y'all wanted to do this self-defense thing, we're going to go all the way with the self-defense thing. Because we got a real case of self-defense. Y'all didn't. This is a real legitimate case of self-defense. It's not what y'all had. Y'all didn't have no real case of self-defense. We're not even going to play that game. And y'all been getting away with that for too long. No. So now when it comes to some real self-defense, y'all want to change the rules? We ain't going. Nope. We're not going. Let me get to some more of the super chats. Okay. He says, from downtown says, peace, B1 family. Black first to you, brother. Black first to you, B1. Thank you very much, brother. And excuse me. Freedman's Network says, Afro, these people are envious of us. Very true. That's why they all hate us. That's true. That's why, and I've been saying that for the longest time. The loser doesn't live rent-free in the winner's head. The winner is not obsessed with the loser. Let's think about that. If you're a winner, if you're always winning, you're always doing well. If you're a winner, you're not thinking about the loser. If you're always in first place, you're not obsessed with who's in last place. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't happen. You're not obsessed about them, with them, or even care. Or if you know who they are, you don't even care. It's the person in last place who's always obsessed with the person in first place. They're always obsessed with us. They're always thinking about what we're doing, what we're thinking, where we're going. That's the way that works. The fact that we live so rent-free in their head shows that we're the winners, we're the ones in first place, and they're the losers, they're the ones in last place. That's the only way it makes sense. Yet they want to flip it and make it seem like we jealous of them in some way. And then when we say, what do y'all have to be jealous of? They would be like, y'all so mean. I can't believe y'all so mean to me. Why would you say that? We're just asking. Y'all say, you know what? Y'all just jealous of everything we got going on. Really? What do y'all have going on? You didn't have to go there. I can't believe you said that. You already know what the government been doing. I can't believe it. Like, come on now, damn. You shouldn't have said something then. Anyway, YGLTB1 says, a simple question that destroys his entire argument. Name every FBA, past or present, that are colonizing, subjugating, plaguing resources, and unaliving people at will. Just name one, past or present. That's a good question. Some of the countries of the diaspora. Answer, not one. Not one. Not only have we done that, we've been the heroes. We have literally been the heroes. We have allowed these people to seek refuge. We've built pathways for them to come over and become citizens. Okay? And not to our benefit. We ain't looking like, okay, if y'all gonna come and become citizens in America, y'all gonna have to pay some money over here. Y'all gonna have to come with the bet. Only the richest of the rich can come over here. We ain't did none of that. Freedman's Network says there's always an audience for Black American what's this say? Oh, US hate. I don't know why the things is together on that part. Because I can't see the emojis. So it just says US, but that's the flag. I got to look at it on a different screen. It's the flag. I was looking like, what? Black American hate, yeah. It says Daniel Penny had a war chest of $2 million. He did. $2 million for it was a homeless man. Keep that in mind. And they called it self-defense and gave this man $2 million. Okay, don't talk about no three, and it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but we ain't even got half, not even a quarter of the money that Daniel Penny got, and he strangled a homeless man. And this is a genius child who saves lives, and he ain't even get half of the money, and they pulling their hair out. Let's get to, hold on. And then our sister, again, Queen Nora says, FBA, excuse me, hold on. FBA is the paragon. Lovely at the top. Yeah, lonely at the top. Sorry. We good though. Yeah, that's true. We don't really need company like that. I mean, company that's cool, it's cool, but we don't. Is it needed? No, definitely not Myron, not him. No. If our company is this guy, hold on. If our company is this guy, if this is our company, I'm pretty cool without company. I'm gonna be honest with you. If this guy is our company, I'm straight. And when I say straight, I do mean straight and heterosexual straight. I'm straight. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm 100% good. If this guy is the company that we need, I promise you, I don't need no company. I'm better off alone. Okay, I don't got friends. I don't got company. I'm chilling in my own house like I'm Batman or something. I'm super cool. I'm super cool. Some more of the super chats coming up. Hurricane again says, remember, we can reach 1.5 mil. Yeah. No, make it 3. We can. It's almost at 300,000 right now. We definitely can. And mind you, we don't have no like businessmen, like no millionaires or nothing like that. This is the everyday Black American FBA. This is the everyday average person putting $10, $15, $20, maybe some with like 100 or something. But this is all of us as a collective pinching in to save this young man. And if we keep the pressure up, if we keep on doing what we're doing, he's gonna come home. Now, I don't want to get people's hopes up too high. There may be some type of punishment for the knife. Possibly. We're going to have to see because more facts are going to have to come out. But possibly, it's a possibility that could happen. But what we're trying to do is save him from the murder charge. We're trying to save him from the murder charge. To be honest, I think with everything that's transpired, you can let him go with some type of probation. With the little knife thing, even if the knife is illegal, because we might not even know that, to be very honest. My good brother Torian says at Afroelite, and to top off, Daniel Penny got a cruising. He says crushy job. He got a crushy job for a position that he was not qualified for by someone who was a staunch Trump supporter. That is true. That's true. That I was looking at that and I had to remember that's very true. Torian makes a good point. So not only did he get away with this and calling this quote unquote self-defense, he got so many opportunities. He got a bunch of opportunities for them. He did, to be honest, he did this, all three of them. If we go to all three of them, Kyle Rittenhouse made a whole book about it. Now, the book didn't do well at all. I think George Zimmerman came out with a book, even though that book didn't do well. But he was going around. They were making money. Remember, George Zimmerman was out here signing Skittles. He was signing Skittles because they thought he was some type of hero. Oh, you lynched a black kid. Oh, my God. I'm so envious. George, we ain't never going to let that go. We will never forget that. Okay? I'm not going to forget that. I'm not going to let the next generation or the next generation forget that. They had him out here signing Skittles. And if you guys know, that's one of the things that Trayvon Martin was carrying. He had a bag of Skittles in his hand, and he had an Arizona drink, an Arizona soft drink in his hand. One of those juices. And they had George Zimmerman out here signing that like he's some type of NBA star signing basketballs, or he's some type of baseball star signing baseballs or a bat or something like that. They had him signing stuff like he was a movie star. They gave all three of these men opportunities, book deals, interviews up the wazoo. They were just hooking all these men up for stuff that they caused, issues that they caused. All three of these dudes, I don't even want to call them men. All three of these individuals, if I could say that, caused their problems. All of them did, 100%. And it wasn't because if it wasn't for them. And they wound up taking lives, and they wound up being celebrated for that. So we're just never going to forget. We are never going to forget that. Let me see. Torian also says Daniel Penny was also recently at a fashion show. Really? Wearing a kilt. Really? I didn't see that. I need to see that. I didn't see that. But look, they're celebrating him like he was some type of celebrity, like he's some type of hero. I mean, just a homeless man, but if he's black, I mean, you're a hero. You're a hero for taking a black life. That's what America has taught. And just say it's self-defense. Just say it's self-defense, and you cool. You cool. Even though you started it. Just say it's self-defense. No. If the only hero, we got actual evidence of Carmelo. We got actual evidence of our brother Melo actually being a hero. Actually saving people. Because some people are like, oh no, Daniel Penny, he was in the military. What does that mean? What does that mean? Enrolling in the military does not mean you're a hero. Some people are going to be mad. It doesn't automatically mean that. It means you did serve. If you did serve, you served. But that don't mean you actually are a hero. You become a hero by saving people, saving the day. Just because you enrolled in the military doesn't mean you saved anybody. You might not have saved anybody. We don't know what, we really don't know what you didn't save yourself. We don't know. I'm not saying he did or didn't do. I don't think he did, because heroes don't go around strangling homeless people. I just don't think that's a characteristic of a hero. That's not a very heroic thing to do. So I just doubt he did that. But this young man is actually a real hero who is in a very bad situation after he was unfortunately attacked. And let me ask you something else, because a lot of people talking about they didn't know each other, which we, at this point in time, we don't know if they did or didn't. All of the evidence actually goes to show that they actually didn't know each other. As of right now, we're just going to say that they didn't know each other. But let me ask you this question. If somebody wants you to get up and move, they don't know you, so much so you're a complete stranger to them. So much so that they're willing to physically grab you and throw you out in the rain. They're not a bouncer. They're not a police officer. They're not security. He's not even like a team captain or anything like that. And he's not that. Nobody called him to help. Does that, I'm going to be very honest with you. That doesn't sound like somebody who's really that mentally stable. And I don't mean to like spread any rumors or any misinformation, but in my opinion, this is just my opinion, we have a lot of people out in this country who are underdiagnosed. Let's be honest. We see people snap all the time in this country. How many times you turn on the news and you see somebody, single white male has eliminated everybody in his family and then burned the house down. Like, we see that stuff all the time. It's unfortunate, but it's true. We see people, there's a whole TV show just called Snap, where people just go insane. Just one day they're like, oh my God, Bob was so normal. One day he went to work early on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday he drowned all the kids in the bathtub. Like, and I'm not saying that Austin would have done that. I'm not trying to say he would have done that, but that is things that we see in this country. We see people just snap. And it doesn't, if you don't know this person who's just running up on you, grabbing you, get out the tent, get out the tent, you can't just assume that that person is mentally stable. And if a mentally unstable person comes running up on you, grabbing up all on you, who if you went blow for blow, if they went blow for blow, you are gonna lose. You're gonna lose. This man is 70 something pounds, arguably heavier than that. He's so much bigger than you, and his twin is right there, who's also the same size. You're gonna lose. You're not gonna win that fight blow for blow, especially by, even if it was y'all was the same size. His twin is right there. It's 2v1 anyway. And this person who is expressing that this person has, at least, at the very least, some type of anger issue. Even if it might not be like, maybe he might not be bipolar or anything like that. He, at the very least, based off of what we know he's done, he has anger problems. You can't tell me he doesn't. You cannot convince me that that is not anger issues that he just expressed. Off of a tent I can almost see if he owned the tent. Off a tent he doesn't own. It's not like he's even defending a friend of his tent. No, this is my friend's tent. No, the tent belonged to you. Why do you care that much? The tent belonged to your school, dude. Calm down. Like, you can't tell me that's just I'm not trying to say or justify or say he deserved his life any less, but we know that there are people out in this world who are not mentally stable. And if somebody who you don't know just comes charging up on you, grabbing all up on you, what are you doing? You're going to talk him out of it? You're going to talk him out of it? After you told him, hey, man, keep your hands off me, and he's still just grabbing all up on you, you're going to try to calm him down? Well, you going to sing a lullaby like this is the Avengers movie and they trying to calm the Hulk down? That's not how that's going to work. It's I keep saying it's unfortunate, and it's a travesty that has happened. But that's not the way mentally stable people who are at least taught that well operate. And let's say he was mentally stable. Clearly, this is a terrible reflection on his character and behavior and his treatment of other people. Why are you treating other people like that? Why? Not even what would make you think you have the authority to do that. Why would you even want to do that? Why would you want to treat somebody else like that? Why would you want to pick this man up and throw him in the rain? Because it's still raining. That's why he's under the tent. Why would you want to do that? Unless this is a part of your character. So, hey, man, looking at everything like that, like, yeah, I mean, any rational person is going to do what they feel is necessary to do to get them off. Come on. Let's see. There's a couple more super chats. Iron Poet says they put resources behind theirs. We must put resources behind ours in kind. Yeah, B1, we do. And that's what we're doing. Jacoby, he sends a 20. He says, I stumbled onto Julian Johnson's Law YouTube channel. I'm not familiar with that YouTube channel. And he gave all the stories of lynching here in America that would never heard of these in real. These are the real savages. LQ Iving lynching. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I'm not familiar with that channel, but if there's some historical documents and things like that, some historical information, educational historical information, I'm definitely gonna check that out. So thank you for that. My brother, again, tell it like it is, says, I believe the words you are looking for to describe these guys is parasites. I mean, it is this. Look, man, look. And this isn't to shame the dead, because we don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to water down the truth to make someone who's dead look better than what they really were. And it's important that as a society, we don't do that. This isn't about shaming the dead or even disrespecting the dead, because I don't believe as a society we should be in the habit of doing that. But we're not going to not even exaggerate. We're not going to water down the truth. And we're not going to paint a false narrative on someone just because they're not alive. At the end of the day, everybody who's living now is eventually sometime in the future not going to be alive. Everybody's going to die. Is everybody a good person? No. We're not going to make somebody out to be a great person, or we're not even going to say that that person didn't have issues. We're not going to say that that person wasn't wrong. Just because that person isn't alive, and as tragic as that is, does not mean what they did was not wrong. Austin was wrong. Should he have suffered the consequences with his life? No, it was an accident. And if he didn't start that, it wouldn't have happened. But he was wrong. That's the truth. It's the sad truth, but it is the truth. Before we go, y'all, I want to show you guys again. This is the GoFund. I keep saying GoFundMe. This is the GiveSendGo page, the official GiveSendGo page by the family. Let me refresh it. So we're doing really, really well. We are at $297,568 and rising. We are definitely by the end of the week, by the end of the weekend, we'll definitely reach over that 300K. We'll that because all we need is a little less than 3,000 to get to that 300K. So we'll definitely reach that. All right. So we're doing what we have to do, because this boy deserves justice. Carmelo deserves to come home. He is a victim in this situation. Everybody's talking about the fact that because he's alive means he's not a victim. He is a victim. This young man is 17. He's not even a legal adult yet. He's not even old enough to go buy cigarettes yet. He is 17 years old, who had a bright future ahead of him and was attacked and unfortunately took the life of somebody in self-defense. And now his whole life is ruined. He don't know, even if he comes home, what he's going to do with the rest of his life now. Because all of the scholarships and all that stuff is gone. It's not his fault, but he ain't going to be able to do no sports scholarships or nothing like that no more. It's not like things are going to roll back to normal after the trial, which is going to take like a year or something anyway. And then he's probably going to have to do therapy and all of that stuff. And he's always going to have death threats over his head. So his life is never going to be the same. But it is something that can be saved. We can save what is left of it and make it a good life. Just because it's never going to be the same doesn't mean it has to be a bad life. Doesn't mean it has to be a life of misery. Not if we save him. Not if we don't let it be. So if you guys have anything that you'd like to add to the thing, $5, $10, like it's almost at 300K anyway. So $5, $10 here, that's gonna add up because everybody's blowing that up. All right. So anything does help. It really does. Shout out to all of the support, the super chats. Shout out to all of that. Hold on. I'm looking at everything because I don't like to miss stuff. And now we have another super chat from, I think was that Shacked? He says, have you seen the Next Generation Action Network? They are representing the Carmelo family, but are DNC adjacent and operated by a tether. You know what's interesting? I have seen that. And the reason why I'm not talking about that is because And thank you for that. Thank you for that. They're actually not the family's lawyers. Actually, they're actually not the family's lawyers, and they state that themselves. The guy who's up there, he states that himself. He's actually not. And I was gonna play it. I was thinking about playing it, but I'm all like, I'm gonna play. He did a press conference. Let me see if I can. Since we're on the subject, since you did bring it up, and it is a good point. Let me see if I can find like a clip, because he did a press conference. I'm gonna go to YouTube and find a clip. But he's actually, it's not like he's the inner let me see. And it sounds a lot like Al Sharpton's thing, to be honest. Because what does Al Sharpton say? He's like the Action News Network or something like that. Okay, okay, I found it. Okay, I found it. Here we go. Okay, y'all look at this. This is Dominique Alexander. Okay. He's a president of the Next Generation Action Network. I don't know where he's from. I heard a lot of people saying he's a tether. I have not independently verified that. Okay. So he's going out and he's speaking for the family, you know. Now, here's the thing. I don't necessarily have he didn't say anything wrong. And I saw this interview. He didn't really say anything wrong. However, you got to really wait for that other shoe to drop. And because he's not a lawyer, he doesn't technically legally, even if he says he claims he has permission from the family to say it, he does not. Are you sure he's from Trinidad? Because a lot of people, I got to independently verify that. Because some people like, he's from Trinidad. No, he's from he's from Nigeria. No, he's Haitian. No, he's not. Now, okay, now I got to check it out and double check that. Let me actually see if I can find that out real quick. Where he's from exactly. Because people be giving me everything about Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson from here. And until I verify that personally, and he might be, I'm not saying he's not, but you know, he got a Twitter. He got a Twitter with the flag. Let me see, what is his Twitter thing? Let me see that. What is his Twitter thing? Let me see. If I copy this. Copy that. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can find it. This is improv, y'all. This is improv. We're going to find it. I want to see his actual Twitter because, like I said, journalistic integrity is very important. I'm not saying he's not. Okay. If this is his Twitter page right here, if this is his Twitter page, I don't see a foreign flag in this Twitter page. Is this the Twitter page that you guys are saying? Is his Twitter page? Unless he has another one, because sometimes people have like a professional Twitter page and then a personal Twitter page. You see that happen all the time, especially when they like run an organization. They'll have like a Twitter page for the organization, and then they'll have their own personal Twitter page. So he might have more than one Twitter page. It could be. So, I mean, I just Googled his name in Twitter, and this is what came up. So this may be, okay, it's a Facebook page. Well, we don't got all night looking for it. We don't get it. Okay. It could be another page. And you know, sometimes, you know, when people run stuff, they got multiple pages. He got an Instagram too. I mean, and he might have it on another social media platform. So it could be. But here's the thing. When they talk about, and this is very important too, because we want this case to come out right. We want this case to come out right. If the family, and I'm wearing this FBA shirt, and I want y'all to listen to me. If the family's lawyer is not FBA, but the family's lawyer is doing a good job representing Carmelo, we need to back that. Okay? We need to back that. We cannot trip. Whoever the family gets as their lawyer, if the lawyer is doing a good job, if there's not no secret underhand agenda, then okay, we can back that play. We are trying to save this young man. So let's be clear with that. We ain't gonna be able to like, oh well, you know what? If he's not FBA, then screw it. Listen, we are here to back that play. If there's no underlying little agenda to it, if there's not, okay. Now, his thing is he's not the lawyer of the family. He stated that himself. He's literally not the lawyer of the family. And he's doing a press conference. And what's weird about him doing that press conference is that if anybody should be doing a press conference, it should be the police. Because let's be honest, the police has not said anything since the incident. The incident happened on the 2nd. It's been a week since then. I think the 2nd or the 3rd, right? It's been a minute since then. Where are the police? The police should have, the sheriff should have made a press conference, or the lawyer of the family, the actual legal representative of Karmelo Anthony and his family. They should have done something. This is some side organization that's clicked in with the Democratic Party. That's the problem. And I saw the clip. It's not like there's much in the clip I disagreed with. Okay. But the problem is that you're not in the right to even speak on this. This is not your place to really speak on. So it's looking like it's coming off as you are doing a bunch of ambulance chasing. So this is a good way because there's a lot of attention and eyes on this thing. And this is a good way to get your organization's name kind of circulating out. You want to get your name out there, or you want to get the organization out there. You want to get in front of some cameras. Why are you trying to get in front of cameras? You're not a lawyer in the situation, and you're not the police. These are the people that we should be hearing from. I could almost see if you were there with the family. I could give it a pass if you were there and his father was there, his mother was there, or something like that. Or even if you were there with the lawyer. You there by yourself. What are you doing? It's coming off like you being an ambulance chaser right now. That's what it's coming off. That's my issue. Now, if he's Trinidadian, I guess there's proof that he is. But if he's Trinidadian, or if the lawyer is Trinidadian, but the lawyer is doing a good job, I'm not gonna trip on that. I'm not gonna trip on that part. I'm tripping on, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's seeming like y'all looking at this as some type of stepping stone for y'all organization, like how Black Lives Matter was doing. Remember how the second a black person was lynched, then you got Black Lives Matter activists protesting, and they sit up there with a microphone in their hand, and we demand justice and all of this stuff, and they're trying to raise their own personal profile. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from you. Now, apparently you had a permission from the family to say that, or at least permission from the police. But if you had permission from the police, why aren't the police doing it? Like, it's just this, I don't know. It's not really, I don't really like that. I'm not really feeling that. So I'm gonna look into it. I did hear about it. I did hear about it, but I'm gonna look into it. But that just is just seeming like certain people who should have spoken by now have not spoken. And the only statement that we don't know, this might be a legal strategy, the only statement we've heard from the family of Anthony is just his father saying that it was self-defense. I don't know when or if we're going to get an official statement. I don't know if they're waiting for him to get bail. And at this point, I'm not sure. when he's gonna get bail, because if you only have to pay 10%, I know the lawyers are trying to lower his bail. So, we're still waiting on more. It's a lot of moving pieces right now, family. It's a lot of moving pieces. And we're still waiting on information. But just be careful, because it's a lot of clout chasers. I said that earlier. It's a lot of clout chasers. It's a lot of opportunists. It's a lot of people who are going to come up. They're going to try to get in front of some camera. They're going to try to make a name for themselves. Hey, this is about this kid, saving this kid by any means necessary. All right. And by saving Carmelo, that's going to set a precedent of justice. The same way what happened with Trayvon Martin set a precedent of evil that we've been suffering from for the last decade. Saving Carmelo is going to set a precedent of justice that we're going to be benefiting from for the next decade. Okay. So yeah, just be, yeah, we gotta be careful with that. We gotta be careful with that. I'm not liking all these silver. Now you just popping up out of nowhere and all that stuff. And even with Ben Crump, here's the thing with Ben Crump. With Ben Crump, at least Ben Crump is the legal representation of the family. He is the legal representative of the family. We might criticize the way he moves, but he actually is the legal representative of the family. Dude, you're not. Why are you in front of the microphone? And you're not the like, you're not the principal of the school. You're not the lawyer of either of the families. You're not the sheriff. What are you doing at that point? Yeah. Okay. It's seeming like you're opportunities. That's what it's coming off. That's what it's coming off like. So we gotta watch everything. And yeah, he's an ambulance chaser too. Ben Crump is, but I'm saying that Ben Crump actually does have a legal reason to be in front of a microphone. He has a legal reason to speak for the family, because he is actually being paid to do that. This guy is not. He's not the lawyer of the family. Even though we don't like the way Ben Crump move, he can say, I am the legal lawyer of the family. This guy can't even say that much. So it's a lot of ambulance chasings going on and all that stuff. He's the statement lawyer. Yeah. He is. I heard him say he doesn't legally. He got permission to state that, but he works for the organization. But I'm gonna look into it. Because I saw it and he said he's not the lawyer of the family. So okay, I'm gonna look into it though. But if he's the why is he not giving? Because he didn't even really give a statement of the family. We really don't have a statement from the family then. We don't have a statement. Now come on now, what are we doing? What are we doing? Man, I don't know, man. And we got to be careful too. Also, we have to be careful too, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to like find some way, somehow to revitalize like the Black Lives Matter organization. So what they're going to do, of course, they're not going to call it Black Lives Matter because it's such a stain on the organization's name of Black Lives Matter. So they're going to come up with some different, very, very similar in operation, but a different version of Black Lives Matter. So with the News Action Network and all of these other organizations that are coming up and doing all this activist work, all of a sudden, you've never heard of them before, so because they got the BLM, the organization, we're never just gonna go back to that. It don't matter how bad it gets, that has too much of a stain. So they need these other things. I don't know what work. I don't know if he's done work or what work he's done. I just know it's just kind of odd. Everything in this situation is kind of moving a little weird right now. So it's important that we just stick to the facts. Everything is moving a little bit weird. No, I didn't overlook. I do know about his ties to the Democratic Party and Black Lives. I do know about that. I do know he has a you copy and pasting in the chat room with brother. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. To me, it's not because he's not a lawyer of the family. He's not a lawyer of the family, no matter what people say. You know. We researched them last night on okay. Yeah, well, I mean that's great, but ain't really no need to talk about him for real. Unless he says something more. We need to focus on what we need to focus on. Okay, and that's getting this argument straight. Okay. Appreciate y'all looking at the chat room, all of this stuff. The second I saw it and I watched the interview, it just made me scratch my head. I was thinking about talking about that too, but I was thinking about talking about it, but I'm like, yep. Then I saw some of the pictures and stuff like that. I saw it was one thing where he was like super in support of like Kamala, and I was like, nah, I already know. And then he's not even a lawyer it's not like he's the lawyer of the family. So I'm all like, you know what? This is giving me like an ambulance chasing vibe. Giving me an ambulance chasing vibe. So let's not even get distracted. Let's stick to the plan. But I appreciate you guys. I didn't think I was going to be on this long. But I appreciate every single last one of you brothers and sisters. Thank you so very much. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Afro Elite on Instagram and then the Afro Elite on YouTube, of course on YouTube, always on YouTube, of course. Afro Elite on Instagram and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you. We're saving this boy. We are, and we're doing a good job. We're doing what we need to be doing. So thank you all for that. Us as a community, we're setting a good precedent for ourselves, for our children, for their children, for the community about justice. So we're doing what we have to do. And I sincerely appreciate every single last one of you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you. Now, with that being said, be one to every single last one of you all. Y'all have a good one. Y'all stay blessed.